All right, guys, we got another one for you. This is one pocket round two. We got the Bluegrass Badass versus another Bluegrass. I'm not sure how badass he is compared to Skyler, but he is from Kentucky, Florence area. I actually kind of remember him, but he mostly ran one of the Derby Junior event that was in northern Kentucky, and I did it actually. It was at Breakers in Florence. I bet he can bank pretty good. So let's see what's going down here. Skyler Woodward in 4K, ladies and gentlemen. And nobody got it like this. I promise you that. Put this on YouTube. Put this on YouTube. I'm telling you right now. I just jacked the bit rate because I'm only doing one stream right now. I didn't find anything else I really wanted to do. Kentucky's in the house. By the way, of Texas now. That's where Sky lives in Texas now. But he's from Paducah. No, he's a little wild. He's a little wild with that first break. That's a little high. Justin Tingle. Pretty sure one of his kids was one of the juniors playing down there. Yeah, get that ass. Get it. It's round two. Pretty tough draw to get, one of the top five players in the whole country, American players. We gotta always bet on the favorite and root for the underdog. That's what I always say. This is a really, this is a nice view. I like this view. I could do this view all the time. Good lighting. I'm not a huge fan of the angle, but it's better than what the other options are to watch one pocket from the other stack side. From the break side, it makes no sense. So we got a little bit of variation for you. Make sure to subscribe to my channel. We got more one pocket 9 ball coming up. We got minis. I think there's a one pocket mini tonight, or maybe it's tomorrow night. I wouldn't think it's tonight because they have all these one pocket games starting at 11. I mean, he's on a monster run here. 8 and out. I remember when Skyler went to Olathe. He went to Olathe a couple times because obviously he was in Kentucky then, right? So Olathe, Kansas. I mean, it's still a drive, but he'd have to drive through just like an hour of Kentucky to get to Missouri. They call it Missouri, but and then Missouri to Olathe is just straight drive, really. And, he was young. I mean, I got the footage. I'm going to upload it to YouTube sometime. I mean, we're talking like 8 years ago, right? He wasn't so good at one pocket then. Now he's pretty stout at it. I mean, you don't really think of him as a one pocket player per se. I'll tell you his best game. Bar table nine ball. Bar table just makes it look. I mean, it's just crazy the skill he has in that game. Pretty awesome bank player as well. I think Chris Zuter is out. So I was a little confused because when I was doing that last game, we could see Zuter like behind us. I'm like, that game's supposed to be in 10 a.m. in the morning. They decided to play, and they finally updated the board, and it's Justin Hall and Chris Zuter, round 9 of the banks. Was kind of like anticlimactic because I really didn't get to stream all of it. I turned it on, and then I'm doing other things. I got the other stream going, Lucas and Sergio Rivas. And then next thing you know, it's done. I'm not sure who won. I think Justin Hall did. I seen that he was. I seen that he won a game, but I probably jumped in on the second game as it is, and the board will tell us really when they restart it. P.S. Labutus versus Joshua Feller Banks tomorrow at noon. Tomorrow there's gonna be some games. Troy Jones is playing Alex Pagaline. He's still in the banks in round 9. That's 10 a.m. Maybe I'll do that game. I mean, it's the standard camera, but I mean, this stuff changes a lot too. So just gotta get up early. Get up at 9 and take a look at the board. I'm sure some magic will happen. Swing and a miss. Hey, if you can run out, you got it. I mean, this actually gets you back behind here. You spin it 2 rails up. Back behind these balls. They're all going to go to the hole. You got to want to put that cue ball up there, though. I mean, you have to shoot here. You got to shoot. No, here's the thing. You gotta just come out at this like firing because you're like 20% maybe chance to beat him a game. You would think. So there's no pressure. Pretend it's for nothing. Gotta get that 7 in there. He's gonna bank a ball to the 7. He ain't gonna make the 7. I mean, if he needs one, I mean, it's the game is over. Well, he's playing for balls, so he probably needs one here. I haven't even ate my dinner yet. I think I'll call it a wrap after this match. I don't think anything else will be going down. Mm, all right, Jim Alberto. Well, I don't know. I suppose it might be a little bright. That's how good that camera is, though. There's no brightness on there. I gotta tweak it in the software if I'm gonna do that. How's that, eh? A minor improvement, I suppose. You can go see the scheduled matches anytime, but a lot of times they say to be determined. Maglino's playing on 4. I was gonna do that. Danny Olson's on 2. I can't really get that table. I'm interested to see Pinegar and Roland Garcia, Hennessy, Banks, round 9, 10 a.m. There's no table, though. I'll have to pray. I might even get my third laptop out and do three streams. I'll really shock the world. Hennessy's playing Jonathan DeMent on 34. That's upstairs. That's one pocket. Man, they just grind this. I mean, it's like a long. This is round 2. Round 3, one pocket will begin play at 10 a.m. Round 9 banks TBDs, to be determined, will play Tuesday morning, not before 10 a.m. Filler and, I mean, that's sick. Josh Filler and Pius Labutus banks. I haven't even seen Filler in a bank match yet. I haven't been able to stream one. How'd he sneak by? There was 20 players left after round 8. So I think there's less now in banks. And I don't see Zuter, so he must have. Yeah, I don't see it. Pagaline and Troy are going to play on 10. On table 10. Not a huge fan of that angle. Derek Jordan, Kentucky's finest 3. Nice to see people on YouTube. There's like 60 over there and 70 over here. These are pretty good numbers. Please subscribe to that YouTube channel. What day am I leaving? Leaving what? Nice shot. Now this is when a player like this is so dangerous. You get behind the stack, you might not shoot again. I said might. I'm not at the Derby. I'm at home, brother. I'm doing this from the couch. I gotta get out my other laptop if I'm gonna do this tomorrow. That's just too much to do, man. He might get safe out of this. He'd have to get down further underneath the 3. That would have been really something. Oh, you're there? Yeah, I'm not there. I'm at home. Feather won the Bigfoot. I haven't seen him play any monsters in the bank tournament. Maybe he did, I just didn't see it. Runaway train. Man, that's an aggressive break. Almost sold out. I mean, I didn't think this would take too long. I got a lot of viewers, so I'll stick around and just move. I mean, I'll try to find something to watch after this for everyone if you're going to stick around. I don't see any other games going out. Um, this camera can get 6, 5, 7. Pretty good. Obviously, the table right next door isn't so bad. Then there's one in the middle and the one to the left. So this can get probably 4 tables. Pretty pretty decent looking. Oh man, that's just death right there. I mean, that's he's like, "You're from Kentucky? That's pretty cool. I'm gonna bury you like a corpse." That's the only thing you can do is try to get knocked on balls out. He could have took a foul. I mean, Skyler really wouldn't have had much. I mean, he's got. I mean, he already. What has he got? Two or three in there. See another three laying out here. Is he looking for a bridge? I mean, I don't know why he would need one. I don't know what he's waiting for. Maybe somebody was on that other table or something. Well, Skyler's got three balls, it looks like to me. Actually, not a bad shot. That ball looks like it's going in the hole if he hit it harder. I think he shoots at the six. I mean, you got the one there, but, I wouldn't think that he's scared. Oh, he's actually playing it safe. Make sure you change your setting on YouTube with that wheel and switch it to 4K. We got a creeper. Seems like we got a bunch of new people hanging out. Appreciate it. If you guys are looking for Jacoby Qs or anything, looking for a Q-Wit shaft, a black 4, you want to buy a blackout. I also got like another, probably in about a month and a half, I'll have another 10 high-end pieces that I had commissioned to be made with burl hybrids, fancy stuff, probably all over 2,000. Anybody's looking for a Q, I'll have all kinds of nice pieces pretty soon. And you're welcome to send a Cash App or a PayPal. I normally don't even ask for donations because I run it like a business, but ramen noodles, they cost a lot these days. Yeah, it's not bad. Probably could have crossed it, but then you risk selling out the stripe by the side pocket. Hmm. He's expecting it to scratch. That's a tough position. I was thinking that's the best thing you could do is try to. That he almost made that ball actually. Kiss that ball, slide it across, get under the 14. But that's not horrible. I mean, Skyler might have to make this ball for him actually, unless he can see the two. Okay, just. I mean, that was a great bank. That's two balls. Get him in there. That's three. I think you're supposed to play the 11. Well, that's why you play the 11 to get to the 4. That's the way this guy needs to shoot because, he's you got nothing to lose. That's your biggest weapon. Don't care that you're playing Skyler Woodward. Just make balls. Man, did all that work. Now he loses one, and Skyler's got ball in hand in the kitchen. That's a wrap. I mean, does it look like he was scared? You know what I mean? It's just like there's no pressure on him. But Justin should have took it that way the whole time. But what can you do? What can you do when you're up against such offensive prowess? All right, I told you I'd give you a tour. We'll see what's going down. I want to show you my sponsor roll here, and then I'll move the camera around. All right, guys. We're in a busy pool room. We've got some great improvements in the industry here. You can now get an entire month
for a free trial of Let's Get Streaming TV service. You heard me, it's a fantastic deal. You can't turn down. We'll help you configure it and you will have an entire month. Hit up TV Mike and we'll get back to you and get you going. The best apps, the best tech support, the best service you can get in this industry. I promise you, you won't regret it. Get our deluxe package for $44.97 a month. Cut the cord, cut the box, go mobile, and let's get streaming. Hit me up. Thank Hey guys, just a quick addendum here to Let's Get Streaming TV. We just added the Billiard TV network, and it's located under US Sports on your TV side of our streaming sponsor. So not only do you get the 30-day free evaluation, but you also get Billiard TV. So you got to check it out. Send me a message. All right. Anybody got any requests? So yeah, that's our sponsor's TV streaming service. If you're interested, send me a message. I'll set you up in 5 minutes. So I told you I'd give you a tour. See what's going down. This is, it's tough to read that, but don't know these guys. You're on candid camera. I think that game might be of interest, but I think he just won. Lucas, who's undefeated in the banks going into round 9. Oh, there's a player. There's a player. Well, that for a view. I like that. Reverse stack view. Oscar Dominguez versus Bill Rousey. Round 2. I can leave it here. I can go back out. Or we could watch Chris Suter play a one pocket match that he's supposed to play tomorrow. These guys are tripping on this, man. He's playing Cliff Joyner. Says 9 o'clock to be determined. Okay, well, they must be playing a while then. Hmm, that's probably a good match. If you want, you watch both, really. I'll just leave it here. I'll zoom in for you. That's pretty good. I don't know how long they've been playing. Cliff's a legend. This dude used to be just rock solid. I mean, they don't even assign a table to it in the computer. So how am I supposed to know?
remember when Cliff had his stroke, we had a benefit at Iron City Billiards. That was a monster tournament. That was a great time. I donated from the pay-per-view to Cliff. Money made on the stream. I'm sorry, that wasn't Iron City. That was before Iron City. That was good times. That was in Huntsville. That's where that was. Iron City's in Birmingham. I mean, this was probably 6 years ago. I think we did 2 events there, actually. Yeah, I don't know the score. And I doubt they're doing digital pool, but I'll take a look. Actually, they didn't even assign it in the computer, so it's not going to be on. But hey, just stick around and watch it. Man, this looks like really good on my TV or on my monitor in 4K. I'm gonna share this and we'll get a bunch of people to jump back in. I mean, it's kind of late, but people are still around. That won't take long. They'll be jumping in here soon. I ain't lying. I need to make dinner. At one time, I would think Cliff could even spot Chris. What's up, kid? Kid meaning Junior. Junior the cook. It's a pretty tough game for a round two match, actually. Yeah, for sure. I mean, they called him the spot master because he can spot anyone just about anything and outrun it. Actually, when I was first at the Derby like 10 years ago, and I did the video work for the One Pocket Ghost Challenge, I didn't stream it, I just recorded it. Me and Jay Halford made DVDs of it. And that's another story, but he did the One Pocket Ghost Challenge, and I mean, he ran a 15 once. I mean, that's absurd. And that's not even in his prime. So, I mean, I don't really know how far off his game has fallen. I mean, it's one pocket. You don't need to break and run like multiple racks and nine ball. You gotta know how to move and outsmart your opponent. He knows everything there is to know. He's gotta know every single shot there ever was. Oh, that ain't a way to start it out. Zooter owes one. Apparently, Ike Runnels is now at the Derby. He's in the action room right now. He made a clip. That doesn't look like the place is insane or anything. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's people there, but I mean, this time of night, there's people in there trying to find all kinds of stuff. Casey, I remember you. It's been a long time. It's from Michigan. Mike Gully, you want to jump in? Yeah, you can. I don't know the score. You got to get Zoom. Get Zoom on your phone or a tablet. Get Zoom. I'll send you a link and you can jump in. That'd be cool. You know the game. I'll get it ready on this end. You just got to get Zoom now. I mean, you can talk on your phone for that matter. Mike Gully, did you hear me? I got it ready. All right, let me get you the link. No, hell. I sent it to you on my other profile. Try that. Is Chris Sitter on the stall? Maybe Mike will jump in here soon. Well, I don't know if he's going to find his way in here or not. I sent him the link. I'm pretty sure Cliff won the last game, but I know that wasn't the first game, so I don't know where they're at. I'm not going to text Suter. He does play some one pocket at fiddlesticks with some guys, but I mean, I don't know who really would be solid competition for Chris. Buffalo played some with him, played some rotation with him and stuff like that when he was staying with me. I don't think Jason ever won, but he was willing to play like $100 sets and stuff like that. That's good. I mean, I'm sure Chris could use the money, lol. But that's how you challenge yourself. I didn't stake him in those games. I'm like, no. I mean, we went down to Orlando, and he played. Okay, he played Reyes Gomez on his own money, $100 a game, and I'm like, isn't there easier guys around here to play than the best player in the city? But there was some good stuff. You might have seen some of it. It was on the Billiardnet page. Can't see it no more. It's gone right now. All right. Well, obviously Chris won that game because Cliff missed a ball and he conceded. Mike Gully, Earth to Mike Gully, or TV Mike's Universe to Mike Gully. Because I don't really live on Earth. I live in my own world. Well, we know it's at least 1-1. I think it's 2-1, but I don't know in favor of who. Huh. Are you going to show anyone else besides Chris Suter? Well, I mean, I just did those couple things. He's been playing in the tournament the whole time. I thought it was exciting. Chris is in round 8 of the banks. Got to do his game. I believe he's out of the nine, or he's out of the banks now. I mean, he's a local top player, top 5 player in the state of Ohio. So I suppose that might be showing a little favoritism, but who do you want to watch? There's hardly anything going on that I can get on this floor except round 2, one pocket games. I mean, Oscar's next door, but this is probably the most even matchup going right now. I mean, who doesn't want to watch Cliff Joyner? This guy is a legend. They always used to talk about Cliff in Detroit. So you got people that know Chris Suter. You got people from Ohio. You got everyone and their mom who, at one point, really watched Cliff Joyner and followed him around and everything like that. So you got a good match here, actually. Skyler slaughtered his lamb, and then I said, "Hey, I'll give you a tour of the room," and we found this game, and this game wasn't even in the computer. See, we got superstars coming in to visit us. Billy Thorpe is watching. Cliff Joyner used to go everywhere. I'm pretty sure Joe Scotchell played him. You know what? I'm gonna call. Well, I don't know if I should call him. It's a little late for Joe, but maybe I'll text him. Maybe I'll text him. The owner of Frank's. I don't see you in here yet, Mike Gully. He says he's on Zoom. I'm like, not so. Let's not say we did. I mean, you're not here. Well, I just found it. It's like a little diamond in the rough, you know what I mean? I mean, Chris Suter, top player regardless who he's playing, but then he's playing like a Hall of Famer, who's obviously not the player that he was at one time, but you can play one pocket until you can barely even stand. You don't have to run a rack. All right, he's working on getting in here on Zoom. He's like, Cliff Joyner, I want to jump in. I wonder if Chris ever played Cliff over the years. I mean, Chris used to be a role player. I mean, back in the day, he used to run around with like Jerry Slifka. This is what he told me. They were good friends. Cliff is gonna, play his tight trap 'em style pool, and Chris is gonna try to play offensively, really. Shit, by the time you get in here, my girlie, the set'll be over. I'm gonna try to cook up some special stuff tomorrow. Some secret sauce recipes. There's gonna be lots of top games in the morning. I gotta get up and see what's available. Some of the stuff is to be determined what table they're on. You got Shane Van Boning versus Lucas Werner. I mean, that kid's been hitting them good. Both undefeated going into round 9. Tyler Steyer to be determined. Hennessy and Roland Garcia. I mean, they're all strong matches. I mean, you're going to make me get my laptop out, really, but I don't even think I got enough bandwidth for it. Kenny Loftus and Josh Filler playing one pocket in the morning. That might be something of a fight. Louis DeMarco and D. Atkins are playing on 26. That's the game I wanted to do, but that's like upstairs. Noon, you're going to have Lee Van Corteza and Fedor Goris playing banks. One of them gets eliminated. That's going to be on AccuStats. Yeah, by the time he gets in here, this rack will be over. Interesting position where all these balls are. I mean, there's that could work for Cliff's advantage if he can get behind the 9 here in the front of his inning. But none of those balls really go towards the pocket. That's going to be spotted. Uh-oh. It is what it is. He's swinging, I promise you that. Zuter is a great 8-ball player. He has tremendous offensive power. He's relatively quick in breaking and running a rack as well. Mike Gully was gonna jump in. You can jump in. I mean, we can have a threesome. I mean, I can just go, somewhere else. I mean, I'm used to sleeping with a dude in my bed. Used to sleep with Jason all the time, dudes. Get out. I want to have my own bed. You snore. Well, get your own room then. Sometimes he did. I'll send you the link. I don't think Mike's going to make it in here anyway, but I don't know how long this will be, but obviously it's cool to, we're watching Cliff Joyner. I mean, this guy. Oh man, I can't even. My Chrome is locked up. I think I have to send it to you on my other profile. I'm sending it to you from Mike Warden. You'll get it. You'll be in here in 2 seconds. Gully's never used it before. I'm sharing my screen though, so you'll see it. Well, as far as when he had his stroke, it was before I did the Good Times tournament. I mean, I made the flyer and everything. Oh, I didn't make the flyer, actually. Steve Wells made the flyer. Let me take a look. I can find it. It's been a little while. I can find it. Hello.
It's me again, Margaret.
Gully?
That's me.
All right, what's up, man? Derek Reynolds is going to jump in here too.
Okay.
There he is. Now we got 2 guys that want to commentate Cliff Joyner.
Me.
All right, what's up, man? Derek Reynolds is going to jump in here too.
What's going on, TV Mike? Derek Reynolds.
Commentate Cliff. Mike, is that you got to turn that down, man.
What's going on, TV Mike?
You're looping it. Or somebody is.
Not me.
I've got a little bit of a cold, so might hear me cough a good bit.
Yeah, I hear it. I'm not sure what the score is.
I don't know either, but this is a good match to be calling.
Yeah, somebody's got to have 2 though.
I'm surprised that Cliff is not trying to bank that 3 off the bottom of that stack. He's got a good angle to cross that.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I like what he did because he moved the cue ball up table to where Chris has to go back on the defensive a little bit.
I think you just hit the 6 ball here and follow to the bottom rail.
Yeah, he did. I think that all the years I've been watching pool, Cliff Joyner, he sometimes moves like a ghost, man. He will duck
he'll
and
trap you
duck
till
and
you
duck
just
and
want to
duck.
die. He'll just trap you.
Because the time doesn't matter. The time doesn't matter to him. He just, he could grind. He doesn't grind the same after the stroke stuff that he had. Um, but I remember back when Camel had the Pro Billiard Series, um, and he beat Shannon Dalton, and Shannon came back like ran 6 racks 10 ball against him, and then shot a ball in the corner, kind of medium speed, right? And it acted like that shot that FSR had, or no, Al-Kaidi had in the Moscone Cup, where it went in and popped right back out, except it popped in and then popped out on the top rail and fell on the floor. This was in the championship tournament at the end of the season, and they held it here in Columbus. I was actually there. I was watching it. And Shannon, when he got done, was just distraught, to say the least. But Cliff has been a great player for a long time, and one pocket was always his better game, I think.
Oh, for sure. I remember he used to go to Morgantown, Westover at Frank's and play Joe Scotchell.
Yeah, I text Joe. I told him to tune in. I said, "Hey, your buddy's on."
I doubt he's still up.
Well, that's another. That's why I didn't call him. I just texted him. So
Yeah.
the Cliff Joyner fundraiser was September 13th through the 16th of 2018, and that was shortly after he had his stroke. I found the flyer.
I think the biggest problem Cliff has right now, if you watch his stance, it's hard for him to get that solid base since he's had that stroke. If you notice, he's not as low as he used to be, and his stroke is a lot shorter. He doesn't long stroke it anymore, but he still plays great.
Yeah, you definitely can't leave him much. This is the part of the derby that I really like. The one pocket is probably one of the best that I get to see. I like watching the bank some and the 9 ball some, but I learned so much watching these guys like Cliff, like D. Adkins, like Fetter, like Sky Woodward. Those guys all play this game so well. Tony Chohan, I love watching him play because he's aggressive, but he still will trap you in a heartbeat. Scott Frost is a great one pocket player.
I was watching Skyler Woodward just a little bit ago, and I wasn't on here with the stream with Mike, but I was watching, and all of a sudden he locked this guy up 3 rails behind 2 balls, and Mike said, "Welcome to, well, you're from Kentucky. Well, here, take this, put you in your tomb." It was a hell of a shot.
Yeah, he had nowhere to go.
Another one of my favorites is Alex Pagalayan. Uh, I I subscribe to his page, and he'll play the one pocket ghost and try and play all 15 balls
Oh, I
sometimes
seen him
in
do it.
one hole.
I seen him do it a few times actually.
He practices, and his practice mantra is so strong. It just I just wish I had the determination, the time, and the discipline to put in the time that he does practicing for his craft. Because man, he's amazing.
Well, here's what's crazy. The record was held by him and Shane Van Boney in the one pocket ghost. There's 5 racks at 15 balls. That's 60 balls, right? Well,
Yeah,
they'd put an over and under of 46 as the middle number. And when COVID first hit, Joshua Filler was staying at oh shoot, I just went brain dead. What's the guy's name that has the room in Virginia? Roy. Filler and his wife were staying at Roy's, and Roy Filler put up all 7 or 8 different games where people could, if they would select you, you could pick which game you wanted him to play, and you could bet whatever small up to $100, and they would take your bet. And Filler's total one time was 58, or excuse me, let me see, 60 balls, 48, and he ended up getting 51 of the 60 balls, which was unbelievable.
Yeah, that's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Filler's a great player too. He plays good one pocket, but one pocket's not his strong suit because they don't play it in Europe much.
Right.
When he comes over here for the Derby, when they play some of the big tournaments, if he's over here, like Buffalo's or something like that, you might see him get in there and do okay. But he doesn't really play much one pocket. But it's not that he can't play. He's definitely a beast at whatever game he plays. I mean,
think
they said he snapped off Federer in the Bigfoot tournament today. Federer was behind 8-4 and came back, and they got it to Hill. And
well, here's something that most people don't realize, and I just found out about 20 minutes ago, but Gorst was playing in the banks on the 9-footer prior to that match, and Joshua got to warm up about 55 minutes on the 10-footer before Gorst got to come over.
That might help him a little bit.
It had to help him a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying it helped him a ton because they're both great players, but it had to help him out some.
It's a whole different game plan, playing rotation compared to banks.
Yeah,
you have to have a little bit of time to, pocket balls without having to bank them.
Yeah, and he did
get back into stroke because it's a different stroke.
Yeah, he had to come straight over from his bank game to the 10-foot. So that might
it's a lot like when these guys get to where they're playing in the 9-ball the early rounds of 9-ball, and then they're up in the ranks in the one pocket. Almost.
Tell you what, Cliff's just keep putting him over there to his corner.
Yeah, and Chris is trying to just keep pushing him back up past the side. Cliff just keeps leaving him on this top rail. He'll bank 2 rails, 3 rails, whatever, and then he's just up there by that center diamond.
Yeah, there was a shot there just a second ago that Chris didn't see. He could have played that 8. I don't know what, maybe the 10. He could have played that 8-10 over to his side, but didn't do it. Look at Cliff coming again. That's in. Nope. It rolled.
It was close.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that, but he would have had to really put some other shit on it and get it away from that other ball that was down there too.
Yeah, I thought they both would have went over to his side. It's just a matter of holding the cue ball.
Right. But you would have to hold the cue ball and hope that if you didn't make it, that you didn't sell out one of those banks on the corner, because Cliff he's a bank specialist from on that end. You leave him those just cross corner banks that are short. You're just asking for him to.
This ball might go.
Make one and run out on it.
Oh, he didn't play it. I think that ball had room to go through there.
But I said this to Mike about that match that Zach McKee and them played. Some people play unorthodox at times, whether it was on the level or not. Some people play unorthodox pool just because they may see the shot, but it may look like a sellout, and they play the ball away from the pocket instead of trying to make a ball that most people, probably
What's he doing
85%,
there?
he was
He
trying to
tried to
kick it out
two-rail it.
over towards his
Yeah.
hole,
He
and
just got in too deep.
he double kissed it. He was trying to dig it out and two rail it up table. It double kissed, and the cue ball got out first.
Now, what are you playing here?
Just the one that Chris played, and now he's going to bank this 8 ball and try and run into the 6 and stun.
See, I'm behind you guys.
What are you watching?
I'm watching the match. I mean, what I'm on Billiardnet on YouTube.
Yeah, don't watch that. Watch the screen.
Yeah, watch the screen on the Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what you
Yeah,
do, because then you're watching
about
what I'm
30
watching.
seconds. Yeah,
There you go.
that ball didn't get there. I think that cost him a ball, unless the 6 got there.
Well, the cue ball come off the 8 and got to the rail.
Oh yeah, the 8 did hit the rail there, didn't it?
No, the cue ball did.
But I didn't think he hit the 8. He must have.
Yeah, he did.
It didn't look like it from when I was watching. It didn't look like the 8 moved, and I thought when it came off this other rail, the 7 ball didn't get there. So I was like, man, did he just foul?
No, the cue ball come off the 8 and got to that side rail.
Who's that right beside him? Almost looks
Dominguez.
like Oscar from the side.
That's Oscar.
Yeah. Wow, what a shot that was.
Yeah, he just hit it with too much speed.
Yeah. Sold out the bank. But he only gave up 1. Cliff wanted to get that ball up table so it wasn't close to Chris's hole.
Tell you what, what about a 3-railer on the 3 ball?
Yeah. What is this? Is this the 2 or the 6 up here on the top of the rail?
6.
He's gonna play the 2. He's gonna play the 2 railer right past it. Oh no. He tried to go the other way at it, and he's gonna leave Chris the 6 ball bank, or the 8, whatever the one is.
That's
right
a
by
2.
the side. Yeah, I mean, he's got a chance to run that 2 over, or he can actually 2 rail the 6, Z bank it over to his pocket, because neither of the combinations go right here. This is a good spot to play that 2 rail Z bank.
He might be able to play that 9-7. Cliff might be able to.
Oh man, and he drilled it too. He didn't make it. That's good. I mean, but he left it hanging. But he leaves Cliff the spot shot here. I don't think any of the others go. The 3 ball's too. I don't know that it's behind the line, by my view, and I don't think that 14-2 is playable. The 9-7 might be.
If there's some gap in between that 9-7, he might be able to play that. If you cut the 9 towards the side pocket and bring the cue ball down off the bottom rail and spin it back, it's going to be a safe shot.
Yeah, but if there was any room to do that, he wouldn't have been shooting the 2-ball.
Yeah.
Well, he kind of got lucky there, but kind of didn't. Makes the 2-ball. So Chris still has the 6 down here, but at this point, smart shot here, I think if the 6 is out away from the pocket a little bit, makes it a tough shot. I would probably bank the 4 into it and try and take 2 balls out of that. And then if you get the second one, if you get that one to go, then you're going to get that third one if you have a good shot at it. I didn't get it in there, but that was the shot for sure. Because it opens the 15 back up.
Yeah.
Now I expect Chris to play the 15 up table and try and leave the cue ball over behind the 3-ball stack there. And that blocks the 1 or the 9 there from being the 1 railer.
That's a nifty little shot.
Yeah. It's going to cost him. It's probably going to cost him 2.
Yeah. Do you go down to bank that other ball? No.
It just cost him 1, but it was the one that mattered.
Yeah, I didn't know what the score was.
Yeah. So Zuder gets the win. That's a strong win for him. Tell you what, Chris plays good, real good 1 pocket. He plays it a lot. So I really wish Mike could pan out on this one where we could see
What do you want to see?
table. Oscar's table right there to the right.
All right. So Chris wins.
Yeah. Because you don't know if there's another match going on that one.
Yeah, I remember when Cliff was playing at the old place, Derby.
Yeah.
That's when he was playing his strongest.
There you go.
Thank you. I like watching Oscar play. He came to Columbus and played a big set of 10-ball with Chris Bartram. They played like a race to 50 or something, 10-ball. And at the time, it was before Oscar had kids, and he was really playing real sporty. He beat Chris like 50-42 or something like that.
Who's D playing right now?
Louis DeMarco.
Oh, that'd have been a hell of a match. Is that Banks or 1 pocket?
1 pocket.
Banks. Oh, 1 pocket because D's out of the banks.
So this guy Oscar's playing, his name is Bill Rousey. He's from Alabama. I don't know what else there would be. I mean, there's a board to look at, but
I always like watching Oscar play. And Bill's got him in a trap here.
It just doesn't seem like there's that many people there this year. In past years, I mean, you couldn't walk behind the tables without bumping into somebody. That's how many people there were. And I mean, I know it's a little bit later tonight, but all day today, it just doesn't seem like there was many people.
well, I'll tell you, the players' lists are full.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they cut them back. They cut the amount of entrance back. It's nothing like last year's 1 pocket. And then two, last year they tightened the tables up. They ran into a problem because the matches were taking so long. I think the tables went down to four and an eighth instead of 4 1/4. Looks like they might have widened them back up this year.
I think they're probably still 4 1/8 because of the with Matchroom having World 9-Ball Tour points coming from the 9-ball division here.
Well, they almost didn't get the Derby done last year because the amateurs couldn't make balls, and it really put them back like 7-8 hours after the first day. They were losing their minds last year. I mean, that you don't think a quarter of an inch makes that much difference, but it really does.
Even an eighth of an inch
Eighth
makes
of an
a
inch.
difference.
That's what I meant to
Is that
say.
those 4 1/8 and then going to a 4 inch? That's huge. There's balls that you touch the rail that can't get there.
Right.
But with the 4 1/8, you can make them a little better. They had a
Prior
9-foot
to last
table.
year, they were 4 1/4. And then last year they took them to 4 1/8. And like I said, they had problems. This is the first year.
Back to 4 1/4.
Yeah, this is the first year I haven't went in 10 or 12 years.
Well, with this cold, I wasn't going to risk going down there and getting somebody else sick, I really had to hold it together. I played in an APA Scotch doubles tournament this weekend. We qualified to go to Las Vegas, and it was from we started at 9:30, and the tournament was over about midnight. But
you couldn't give me enough money to play an APA.
Well, I'm a 7. I just play it for the singles and Scotch doubles events.
We played we played a year out of Greene County, and we had a team, and most of my guys were 4s. That's what they had you at when you started out. I had 2 guys went to a halfway of the year tournament at Breakers, and they never got into money, never finished anywhere close to the money. And they raised them.
Cap went up.
They raised them 2 spots from 4s to 6s without winning anything, and it put us right on the number. We were playing for a trip to go to Honolulu at Breakers in the championship, and I was a 4. I was a 4 for 24 weeks, and I had a ball that was down near the corner pocket to get on the 8 ball, which was over in the side rail. And all I did was come off the rail first and spin over to get on the 8. Didn't even make the 8 yet. And the administrator come over and says, "You're not a 4, you're a 5." Put us over the number and kicked us out of the tournament after 22 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah. Dave Hanna.
Well, I've seen a lot of different guys that play way, way under and try and hold their handicap down there. And, it eventually catches up to them. But when you put a team together and you're trying to go out for the team event, to win, people are going to go up. But what I noticed was once I got to a certain level, playing in the team event didn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Like I played the regional tournament last year. I get to the finals and I draw Chris Mitchell. There's a disparity in our Fargo, but not in our APA. I'm a 7, he's a 7. I'm a 589. And He's like 723, 725, something like that. He broke and ran the first 3 racks at me, and I lost on the hill.
Yeah, he plays well.
So, and that was the one to go to Vegas, and I was already qualified for 9 ball. I was just trying to double dip the money.
Mm-hmm. We went out for the USAPL 2 years ago, and we won the national 9 ball.
That's cool.
Our team did. It was pretty cool. We played out of the Washington League in PA.
Looks like he's given Oscar a shot here finally. He's had him trapped up here on this top rail for a little bit. I'm not sure. It looks like he might be able to cross this. Oscar's not even going to go for it. He's going to hold off. Trying not to sell out a bank. Well, or he's trying to trap him back. When I looked at all the prize money, though, if you look at what you can win in BCA, VNEA, USAPL by winning the singles events, top payout that I've seen is VNEA, and it's like $8,000. It's been the same for 40 years.
Nice shot.
If you win one of the singles events in Vegas for APA, at the top, I mean, last year Gary Aboud won the 9 ball. It was 10 grand. The 8 ball pays 15 grand. USAPL and BCA both pay about $3,500 to win first.
Well, but those leagues are getting bigger and bigger every year now.
Well, VNEA is getting bigger, and so is BCA and USAPL. But like I said, VNEA has not changed their payouts for first for their singles events, and they're still getting thousands and thousands of people coming to play.
They're not as big as they were. We went out there. Oh, we went out there 10 or 12 years in a row, and there was over 7,000 players when we were out there. Matter of fact, the team from Morgantown, they won it all in the open division that 1 year with Mike Schaefer and Delbert Hall, Jerry Elliott, Mike McLean. Trying to think who else was on that team. Doug Dean, maybe. They won it all.
I can see why.
Yeah, it was a good team.
I mean, I don't even live in that area, but I know 3 or 4 of those guys just from traveling and some of the tournaments that Mike's put on, getting to watch them play.
You want to know the crazy thing? They didn't even win the league that year, the Morgantown League. And they ended up winning it all. But they picked up Mike Schaefer. Mike Schaefer was on my team. But they played fantastic. Jerry Elliott could play.
Yeah. Well, this year we play in the APA Masters League, which is the same format as the U.S. Amateur. And that one's just a challenge to get there and play because, I mean, it's tough. The team that wins here in Columbus the last 3 years Dylan Lippen Tappenlop, Jason Bertolo, and Tony Moget. And they've been out there 2 or 3 times now. And they'll make it a few rounds and then they get beat. Dylan is a beast. I mean, he's quite capable if he took the time and practiced and wanted to try and be a pro. He can play every game really well. I mean, the first time he went up to Pennsylvania to the Billiards Expo. He went for $200 in the 8-ball and $250 in the 9-ball in the Calcutta, and nobody really knew him. He took first in one and third in the other.
Wow.
Yeah. I think he took third in the 9-ball. The guy he lost to kept getting early combos, but he won the 8-ball outright.
Let me ask you a question. Where in the hell's Arcolo right now?
He's in the Philippines.
He can't get a visa to come back in?
Nope. They banned him for 5 years from coming to the United States because he didn't renew his visa in time. And he tried to appeal it and didn't leave while he was appealing it, which they had asked him to. So they said that they weren't going to even look at his appeal because he never, because he
didn't do what
didn't
they
go
told
back
him.
to the Philippines like they told him. But he had a big match scheduled to play, and then they said, we don't care about your match. We know why you're here, but had you filed for dual citizenship, it would have been a different story. All he had to do was file for dual citizenship, take the citizenship exam and learn about the United States, that kind of stuff, and he'd still be here.
So he
Jason
got some
Shaw's
bad
done it,
advice then.
or he just didn't think they were serious.
Yeah. What about Alcano?
I've not heard anything from Ronnie Alcano of whether he can get back or not. I haven't even really seen him play in any events recently.
No, I've seen him on YouTube a few times playing over in the Philippines.
Just gambling now.
Yeah, just gambling, but I haven't seen him play in any tournaments at all.
And he was a beast in his time when
Oh,
he
I
was
watched him
playing
play.
over here.
Yeah, a few years ago in the action room up there, he was playing Filler when Filler first got on the scene at the Derby. And what couple matches? I mean, there's a couple 100,000 betting that room.
Yeah,
Alcano
I've seen a
beat
couple of those big matches where they'll have, 40, 50,000 bet on each side, sometimes a little more in the action room.
Brother, I drove out to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, because Hennessy was going to play 2 little sets with Ronnie Alcano, and he did. And there was like no internet. I had to use my hotspot. I did a little pay-per-view. I might have made $300-400 driving 12 hours there and back, but it was a blast. I almost got Ronnie sponsored by Viking.
who won.
Ronnie won.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've never seen a
that
guy
dude's a
move the
monster
cue
stroke,
ball.
man. He's got a huge stroke, man.
I've never seen a guy move a cue ball and do things with the cue ball like Ronnie. There's only one other guy I saw, and I don't know if you guys are old enough to know who this guy was, but there was a little guy from Akron. I believe he was from Jack Hines. You remember Jack
Jumping Jack
Hines?
Hines, that dude was crazy as hell.
Let me
He
tell you
was
something, man. What a
I
he
never
was
stroke they
seen him,
had.
but
batshit.
he's the dude that had the lizard on his shoulder, and he was in the gambling room.
Yeah, he was batshit crazy, but that guy could play jam up.
Had the
Yeah,
best
I had
best
just
nine
come to
ball break in the
Columbus
world
then.
there for a long time.
Phew. I saw him make Steve Cook unscrew his cue. Steve Cook could really play. I mean, this guy he just said he beat him like two or three big sets. Uh, big set being 5 to 10,000, right? And he had a backer, and after he beat him those couple sets, he started talking shit. And Steve Cook said something to him, and he goes, "I'll just jump up here and shit in the pocket. That's all I got to do." I was like, "What the hell?" He just sat up on the corner of the table like he was going to crap in the pocket, you know. And he goes, "Because that's all your game is." He
Oh
said,
my god, that's
and
insane.
he was dogging him left and right. He said, "You can't beat me. You might as well go home now."
We're in
Steve Cook was a world class player.
we were in Huntington at the House of Billiards years ago, and
Yeah.
just so happened Jack Hines was in there. And there's a local guy around here that was pretty decent from Florida. His name was Randy Smith, left-hander, and Randy could run some racks. And Randy played Hibbets, Bobby Hibbets, and
Uh
Hibbets
huh.
could play too. And Hibbets gave Randy the six through, and Hibbets ran over Randy. And then Jack
Jeez.
Hines come in, and Hibbets wanted to try him, and he started out, gave Hibbets the 7, and when they quit, he gave Hibbets the 4. And if Jack missed the ball, he would just throw the rack on the table and give him the rack, and he just blew over Hibbets like he wasn't even there. It was
That's insane.
incredible.
Yeah,
But
Bobby used to try and get me to play, and I'm like, dude, he always tried to say he was somebody else when I would see him.
yeah,
I'm like, I know who you are. I watched you hustle
You
people.
told me
I
that
watched
story. That's fucking funny.
I watched you hustle this guy and that guy and this guy at corn feds, and we had the skinny on you. I go to this guy's garage that has he has a little building that he put a 9 foot diamond in. It was Brian Beavers that lives over around Rio Grande, Ohio. And Bobby was over there and he was watching this kid from out of state play with him. And Bobby tried to talk me into playing and giving him 10-6. I was like, 10-6, huh? You really think I'm that stupid? He says, why? I said, because I know who you are. So you know who I am. What do you mean you know who I am? I'm Robbie Sanders' cousin or uncle, which is Robbie Saunders, Mr. Action. I was like, you can't even say his name right. How do you think I'm going to believe you, Bob Hibbets? And he goes, oh, so you do know me. He was really bad at that. Right?
I'll
He
tell you
was just
something he
a
was
straight
badder at.
hustler.
We're playing at a Moose International tournament in shoot, where was it? It wasn't in Dan. It was Indiana, Janesville, Indiana, maybe. Anyway, we're playing in this big Moose International, and they got these poker machines in there, those Cherry Masters. Next thing you know, Bobby's got that machine up to like $4,000 or $5,000, and the people come out chasing him. It was bad.
It sounds about right. if there was an angle, he tried to play it.
You know what's crazy though? I mean, he was a world class gin player. He didn't have to do the things that he did. I mean, that I never seen a guy with his memory. You could take that deck of cards and you could flip those cards at him, and he could tell you or throw the cards down. He could tell you what the last two cards were going to be every time, man.
Double deck blackjack player.
Yep, for sure. We played in a moose tournament in Nitro, and we went to the dog track, and there was like 8 of us, and he said he knew the dogs pretty good. Andy Stanley and them guys were down there, and we all chipped in $50 each, and Bobby went over and played these tickets, and he had bet a quinella along with trifectas and different stuff. He said, we'll just take a shot. Well, I was watching him during the race, and he just got real hype. Well, he was hyper to begin with, but he just got real hyper and stuff. And we said, after the race was over, we said, well, how'd we do? And he said, we won a couple little tickets, but nothing to brag home about. So he took off to go to the window. Well, he didn't know I was behind him, and I followed him, and we hit the damn quinella, and he wasn't going to tell us.
Of course not.
he said, Mike, he said, I'll give you $400. Don't say anything to anybody. I said, nah, I couldn't do that. Chuck Wright and a bunch of my good buddies were there, and I ended up making him split everything, and he cussed me for 10 hours. That's hard to do, hit a quinella.
No shit. He handicapped the ponies pretty good too. Didn't he have horses that he ran in the sulky races?
I don't know.
I think he did for years. They got tired of hauling them around.
Now, let me ask you a question. Look at the length of this guy's stick with the extension and everything on it. I would love to see them put a limit on how long a cue can be. They have a limit on how short it can be. I just think it's getting out of hand.
Well, you're killing me, Mike. Mine's 65 inches.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean,
I have a middle extension, and then I have a 30-inch shaft. The middle extension's 5 inches, which would make it 64 inches is what mine would be. Because I got an extra 6 inches, but I don't have a bottom extension. They allow you to buy those ones that slide over the end, like the plastic ones, and the other ones. Hell, there's some of them that you can have your foot at or your cue at like 7 or 8 feet.
There needs to be one governing body of rules. That's just like with one pocket. I hate that the ball doesn't count on the break anymore. I mean, I just think that's the most ridiculous thing. For years and years and years and years, the ball counted on the break. I just think that's a bad rule. Now, if you rack your own, it shouldn't count. But the other player ought to be racking them, and you got the right to say no. I don't like that rack, re-rack them or whatever. But the ball should count on the break. I mean, that's skill. It's not like in 9-ball where you use the magic rack or whatever, where you can make a ball every time. You can't in one pocket.
Well, like for the Derby, the reason they did it is they have so many amateur players, and a lot of those guys would never have a chance because the pros would figure out how to make that ball a higher percentage. They'd make the ball and run out. Now the other guy gets to break because they do play alternating break. But when they first started this, before they went to the other, where you could make a ball on the break. It was winter break playing one pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hate that. And then here's the bad part about it. Let's say that I make a break and I make a ball, okay, and I got to re-rack. Well, the next time I break, I scratch on the break. Well, now instead of me making a ball and being to
It's
have a
cost
chance
you
to make a
two.
few, now I owe a ball. So if you can't get rewarded on a good break, you shouldn't be penalized on a bad break. That's all I'm saying. And if I
I
make a ball,
I
if I
agree with
make a
that,
ball in
Bob.
your hole on my break, it stays down.
Yeah,
It
but if
should
I
it
make it
should
in my hole, yeah, it
it's a
should
re-rack.
spot up the same way or re-rack.
No, it's a re-rack.
It should be a re-rack if you make one in your opponent's because
Right.
you
If you make any ball, it should be a re-rack if you're going to do it that
right,
way.
right.
But here's what I would like to see them do, just like they do in 8 ball. If I make a ball in my hole instead of a re-rack, I should have the option. I should be able to um, spot the ball and give up my turn and let the cue ball rest and the other player comes in right where it is, or have it re-racked.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be
And
penalized in every way. That's all I'm
yeah.
saying.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because a lot of times in 8 ball, if you make the 8 on the break, it doesn't count, but you have the option to spot it and continue to shoot or
Or
re-rack.
re-break. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You should get a choice rather than being penalized the whole way.
True statement.
And I'm 61. When I was coming up, it was you touch anything, it's a foul.
Yeah. Now the rule here is you have to move 2 balls. If you bump something and you're shooting a ball, you
But
have to
why? But
move.
why did
You have
see?
to
That's what I'm
move
saying.
2 balls.
The game was beautiful the way it was. I mean, they played it for 50, 60, 80 years, and it was never a problem. And then somebody decides that they're going to start changing rules.
Yeah.
That's just like a ball counting on the break. When I'm gambling, I want to play the ball counts because in the official game of one pocket, the ball counts. These places are making their own rules.
Yeah.
That's not a standard one pocket rule. That's just like when they play that the ball doesn't count. I don't go into the side of the rack first. I come off the side rail into the rack and bury the cue ball into the rack, and only
Yeah.
one ball has to go to a rail.
Right.
Yeah, because
Well,
you're risking too much going into the side of that rack because you could scratch or ball could leak out or whatever. But if the ball don't count, I don't see the advantage into going in that way.
see, I would have to practice that break a good bit because playing it that way, if you hit it too high, you may scratch. If you hit it too low, you may break out the bottom and balls are going to leak out towards the hole and the cue ball stays.
It's harder to split that first and second ball than it is to come off that rail. All you got to do is start the cue ball in the right spot and then hit your mark. You don't even have to look at the rack or anything. You just look at your mark.
I don't know what they did with the rack down there for the Derby, but I used to play the third ball down with inside and just hit it fat. The corner ball didn't move as much. You could control the cue ball better instead of trying to hit the first 2 balls pinched. And it came up and it pushed more balls to your hole, and the rack separates more.
Yeah.
But at
Well,
one time
you
they
can
said
ask
you couldn't do
you,
that.
you can ask Mike. I've got that breakdown pretty good, and a lot of times the guy just automatically takes a foul, just touches the cue ball and takes a foul because I've got him buried so much. and then all I'll do is shoot the ball back into the side rail and back into the rack again and push them over even farther.
Yeah. I shoot that off that bottom rail and do that a lot in the middle of the game. If the balls haven't broke out much and somebody just thinks they're going to put me in my corner and leave me, kind of stuck, I'll play to do that, play into the rack, stick them to the rack, and push the balls towards my hole. And if I don't get a rail, who cares? They're stuck in the rack. I'll take the extra point away and spot a ball.
I got a buddy of mine named Patch. It reminds me, D came into Frank's and Patch played him, and D played him 15-7, and D owed 7 balls at one point. So he ended up playing him 22-7.
Wow.
Never seen anything like it. And D won the game. He took 7 scratches in a row. Never seen
7
anything
in a
like
row.
it. Yep.
See,
Mike,
now
you still there?
At the Derby, he couldn't do that
Right.
because they play 3 fouls.
Yeah,
3
they changed the
consecutive
rule.
is a loss of game.
Well, I misspoke. It wasn't 7 in a row.
But he
It
took
was
seven
yeah.
different fouls.
It was 7 in about maybe 10 or 11 shots. Yeah, that's just like the rule where if a ball's in the jaws of the pocket, the cue ball's got to follow the ball in. You can't jump it off the table anymore. They played it that way at the Derby for years and years and years and years. Just 2 years ago, they changed that rule.
Yeah.
They said they
that
did
it
it
was
for spectator protection, which is a crock.
no, they said that and that it was disrespectful. That they pay so much for these balls and you jump them off the table. I'm like, it's on carpet. What's it going to do to them?
Yeah.
They use the hardest surface ball out there. You're playing on carpet.
Well, and then the other thing they said that they changed the rule: the ball don't count on the break. Well, they said that they're trying to do things to speed the game up because they take too long. Well, if you want to speed the game up, let a ball count on the break.
Yeah. You'll see more amateurs make more balls.
Yeah. Well, most of us amateurs anyway, we know we can't win. We're looking to draw Efren or draw somebody that we could say, hey, we played them, because you're paying $160 to get in the one pocket, where if you don't play in anything, you're spending $20 a day to get a pass. So it's cheaper to play in something and get your pass and be able to go in every day.
Well,
and without
it's
the
not even
amateurs,
$20 a day now. It's I think it's 50.
wow.
I think they upped that too.
But if it's not for the amateurs, this tournament wouldn't be as big as it is.
Oh, for sure.
Because the pros, they get their rooms for free, they get their entry fees for free. A lot of them get paid for even showing up.
Yeah.
So, and that's okay.
Yeah. I was lucky enough when I went down the first time. I drew Levan Corteza, my first trip in the banks, and I lost to him. Played some guy that beat Brandon Schuff and beat him 3-1 after I bought back. I drew Gabe Owen.
Oh boy.
I actually beat him because he never showed up. He went and played blackjack all night and was too tired to play at 2:00 the next day. He just couldn't get there. And then after that, I draw Carlo Beato. And I got to 4 balls, 2 of the 3 racks that I lost to him. And I lipped out a shot on one of those to win a game.
Hey,
So
Mike,
I
are you
mean,
still on here?
he's probably sleeping.
Well,
He's been on here all day.
you want to get a good laugh. Go back to last year's Derby or go onto YouTube and pull up John Buffy.
Uh-huh.
That's my buddy. We always go to Derby together, and he couldn't go this year. But he draws his first match, he draws Joshua Filler.
Oh boy.
Filler beat him. Am I saying this right? Nope, I'm wrong. His first match, he draws Shane Van Boney. So he plays Shane. It took him longer to shake Shane's hand than it did for the match. Shane beat him 3 games in 12 minutes.
12 minutes.
Yes. So then he rebuys.
And he draws Filler.
He draws Filler. Filler beat him 3 games in 8 minutes. And when Filler got done, Filler's backer said to him, says, Joshua, you got somewhere you got to be? I never seen anything like it. You can go on there. They're both matches are on YouTube. If I'm lying, I'm dying.
What's the buyback?
I think it was 100 or 120.
He spent $280.
Yeah.
To play 2 matches in 20 minutes.
Didn't even last 20 minutes.
That's unheard of.
Well, it's on there. You can watch it anytime you want. And he's such a great guy. I mean, he just loves to play. You know, Alex, how you say his last name? Wazinski? You know Alex?
I don't think I know him.
From PA? He's good friends with Mike McLean.
I've watched him play on streams a couple times. I know who he is. I don't know him.
Yeah. They play once a week, every week. They play for 100 a rack, 1 pocket. They play even. They play it every week. They play.
Well, I'm going to start traveling to Dayton once a week. I got in a 1 pocket league over at Action Palace. And there's 14 guys. It's round robin.
Now, is that Olinger's place?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It's $100 entry fee per player. So there'll be $1,400 in the pot. And it's whoever has the most match wins. And then it'll come down to games if there's a tie and match wins. But it's just you'll get together with that person, set up a day and time that you can play and play them. So that's going to give me some 1 pocket practice.
Why would you shoot that ball that hard? Now, is it handicapped?
I don't think it is.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's letting him or Ryan play or Luke Hawkins. I don't know if they are. I think they had 14 others. But,
do you play him 1 pocket at all?
Who's that? Alex?
Yeah.
I live around Columbus.
Okay.
It's tough to get a 1 pocket game. There's a few guys that'll play over at Players, and occasionally you can get one at Bank Shots, but nobody here really likes to play 1 pocket except D and his juniors, Riley.
Now, see, everybody in Morgantown plays 1 pocket.
Yeah.
Everybody.
And it used to be like that 20 years ago. Everybody played 1 pocket.
Mm-hmm.
But here in Columbus, I mean, I see Kenny McCoy on a regular basis come to the pool room. He doesn't play anymore, but he was one of the best working man's pool players, 9 ball, one pocket, banks, whatever. He's
Kenny
like,
McCoy. Was he
yeah,
related to Hansel McCoy?
I'm not sure.
He was a
I know
truck
they used to
driver.
call him the truck driver. Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. Do you see him regularly?
Like 2, 3 times a week.
Do me a favor.
I'll
Tell
see him
him
tomorrow because I have league tomorrow.
tell him that
We
Patch
play out of it.
Buffy. Tell him that Patch Buffy says hello and he'd like to talk to him. Him and Hansel used to play all the time back in the day.
Yeah, Kenny's
How old is
92.
he?
92.
Okay. Yep.
And I'll tell you what,
Patch would drive up there to see him.
he still hits balls every day.
Where's he play at?
It's a place called Players Family Billiards. It's on Main Street in Columbus.
You know
He
what?
doesn't ever play anybody,
Well, I'll
but
tell you what. I'm gonna bring Patch up there. I guarantee you that'll make his day. They used to
oh, it
battle and
will.
battle and battle. Hansel could play back in the day. He'll
Well,
tell you some stories about Patch.
yeah, I can tell you, I don't remember ever. I mean, once I moved up to Columbus, I don't ever remember seeing Kenny lose a match that he booked. Now he might have lost sets here and there, but overall, he come out winner when it came down to it.
Yeah.
He had a grind.
Well, I got a philosophy when I play, and like I said, I'm old school. These guys want to play 11-7 or 12-8 and stuff like that. I don't play that game. The winner goes to 8. If I'm getting a spot, it's coming off the 8. So they may play me 8-6 or 8-5, but they don't go any higher than 8. The higher the number, that it goes to, the more it benefits the better player. So if that's like with D. D wants to take you to 7. Well, you're never going to see 7. It don't matter what
Right.
he goes to.
Well, we played some cheap one pocket. D and I did. I think we were playing 10 a game or something. And he said, "I'll coach you when it's your shot and kind of give you like some lessons." He
Right.
said, "I'm bored. I want to hit balls." And I ended up 5 game winner at 10-6.
Uh-huh.
He said, "I don't think if we were playing for big money, I could give you 10-6." He said, "You move really, really well." And after he said, I had to smooth my stroke out a little bit and slow it down some. And then he taught me a couple kick shots and how to play a couple bank shots to where you leave the cue ball. And I mean, he pretty much taught me your cue ball is the whole game.
That's the whole
You
game. Yep.
know, it has nothing to do with pocketing balls. You lag to your hole and you put the cue ball where you want the cue ball.
Right. And
He
a
said,
lot of times
making balls will come.
he doesn't leave shots.
Right. And to think, as good as he is, he's not the best one pocket player in the world.
Right. Because he can't make the balls like those guys can. Uh, But he moves. Can you imagine Filler moving like him?
Oh fuck. He moves like a ghost.
Yeah.
Just slide here, slide there. Yeah. Filler definitely outshoots him.
But if D would get with him, that's where he's crazy. He ought to pay D 10,000 and stay with him for a month. Can you imagine what kind of player he'd be?
Fuck. Look at the player he is now.
Yeah, but he doesn't move. He just shoots everything. He's just wide open. And Tony's a monster too, but I don't know. I mean, it's hard to doubt some of the shots that he takes, but my God, is he aggressive?
He is. He is definitely aggressive. Did you see the one shot that he playing against Ercolo, where he jumped a ball with a full cue, jumped a ball, kicked it 2 rails behind, and makes the ball in his pocket, comes into the stack and opens it up and leaves him.
Was that in that 4-day thing that he did called the big one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That
just
was
wonder.
one of the most amazing shots I ever saw.
Yeah. I just wonder if Dennis will ever get back to, because he was probably the best money player in the world when he got kicked out.
Well, I mean, he's still a good money player, but he's not playing on good equipment.
Right.
I mean, they're playing on good equipment, but they don't have, you go to the Philippines.
Oh, they're in
You
dives,
don't,
man. They got that table set up. It looks like they're outside in a goat barn.
yeah, they got chickens running around and
Yeah.
flying up on the corner pocket. I mean,
What is it? What is it that they do when the guys are playing and a guy will make a shot? Then all of a sudden, one of these guys with no shirt on and no shoes on will run over and he'll stick something on the table by a ball. What is that?
I have no idea. I've
You
never,
know what I'm talking about? Have you ever
I
seen
know
it?
what you're talking about.
It's like
It's
they're
like that.
placing a bet or something on he
Yeah.
can't make that ball or get to that ball. I can't figure it out.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But they're always booking some kind of bet like that.
Right.
Those guys bet on every shot, not
Oh, I
alone,
know.
not
Yeah, they do.
every shot, every rack, every set. They play it all. Oscar kind of looks like he's taking advantage here. He's got a couple in his hole there. He's made a couple.
Well, that guy won a game.
Yeah, it's 1-1 that I've seen since I've been on. I'm
Is that
glad Mike
Oscar's
moved him
pocket
up.
down there on the bottom left?
Yeah. If he can hold this cue ball behind the ball in the spot, he could probably, if he could pull it back a little, he could bank at 2 rails, maybe off the back of this 7 or 8, whatever's out in front, if he doesn't like the combo. Because it looks like that ball doesn't go between them, and he has to play it funny to play the combo. Well, maybe I was wrong. I thought he had such a bad angle to that ball that was down on the bottom rail that he wouldn't shoot it.
Yeah.
Now he's looking at, wow, if I make this, I kind of go into the 8. I'm going to have to do something with it being froze to the rail. And he didn't get back up. Now he's got the 2 railer with the 1 ball.
I'd two rail what is that, the 8?
The only reason I don't like 2 rail in the 8 is where are you going to leave that ball? He could have played the 2 railer on the 1 ball, stuck him behind the 3, and force him to play that ball out of his pocket. What he played was a smart shot. I mean, forces this guy to bring the ball up table or try and bank the 8 back. Either way, there's a good chance he can sell something out if he doesn't make a ball.
I'm bringing the 8 over and bringing the cue ball clear up here in this corner. Just don't hit it hard enough where you're going to scratch.
Oh, he's trying to hang the cue ball in the pocket or behind something.
Yeah.
That's a teaser. Nothing I don't think Oscar won't shoot at. I think you give it a good solid stroke with a little top or a little top inside and go
I
2
can't tell
rails
if the
down.
ball's froze or not. You think it's froze?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, I'm using high right coming around. High right would have got him on the 1.
Good possibility. But with the pockets being somewhat tight, you play that high right.
Yeah.
Occasionally you draw that ball up and you pull up too far. You sell out.
You know what the key is to that shot? Instead of, we've always been taught to hit the ball on the rail at the same time. But when you use that high right, you don't aim for that. You aim for the ball because it's going to throw. And you'll make it every time. He
got a wood shaft. Yeah, you will. When I play one pocket, I play with a wood shaft.
That's all I play with.
When I play 8 ball or 9 ball, I play with a low deflection. I have a carbon fiber that has it plays as good as any carbon fiber I played with. I played with the Revo. I played with the Synergy. I played with the Rogue, the Blackout, Mucci.
What cue you using?
I have an elite but I have a custom. My cue is an elite.
What's
have
the
a carbon
pin?
fiber extension, 3/8 10.
I got a shaft that I'll let you try sometime if we ever meet. That you'll offer me a ridiculous amount of money for it. It'll be the best wood shaft you've ever hit.
Is it a keel wood?
Nope.
Because I've not liked the hit on those.
It's the original Predator Pre-Cat 314.
You know what?
1996, made by Clausen in Canada.
I had one of those for 6 months, and I couldn't get used to it.
That's all I've shot with since 1996. I've got about 14 of them.
Outside of the one that I play with for my elite, the wood shaft, I won't ever buy another carbon or low deflection shaft than the one I've got, because the feedback on that cue and the action that I get and the consistency that I get is better than any cue I've played with. Any cue.
Yeah, those 314s, they play different than anything I've ever hit. And the other Predator shafts that they make are nothing like it.
Nope.
Now, just so you know, in case you're out there and you run across one, they made 4 of those. When they first came out, they made 4 prototypes. They made a 6 cut, an 8 cut, a 10 cut, and a 12 cut. And the 10 cut got the best reviews, so that's the one that they mass produced. But if you can find a 6 or a 12 cut, they're worth at least $1,000 just for the shaft.
Well, I'll make sure if I happen to see somebody getting rid of one.
You guys are still rocking?
Yeah, we're still
Where you
rocking.
been?
We're looking
Well, I
about
ate
1 and
dinner. It's
1.
only 1:30 in the morning.
Oh shit! I should probably go to bed. I gotta get kids up in the morning.
Oh, we had a nice little chat. We were talking
Oh
about
yeah,
Hibbets and
Yeah,
and Jack Hines.
well,
Did you know
I
Jack
heard that
Hines, Mike?
much. I heard some of it.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I got to figure out what I'm doing in the morning here.
Hey, tell him about the videos of Patch playing Filler and Van Boney.
I seen
How
one of
long?
them. He gets
How
run
long did
over
that
in like
match?
10
How long
minutes.
did the match take, Mike?
10
he said
minutes?
10 minutes.
15 minutes. I mean, it was.
No, well, one was 8 and one was 12.
Well, I'll tell you, I saw one match live that was about like that. I went down with my buddy L.A. Steve Warwick, and Gary Abood down there one year. Steve used to like to back Gary when he went down there, and I saw Gary beat a guy 3-0, and the guy only got to shoot twice. He lost. Gary lost the lag, so one of that guy's shots was the first break. He made a ball, banked one in, and missed. Gary banked out and broke and ran the next rack. Broke and ran 4, and left the guy up on the top rail. He tried to play a bank safe and he missed. And Gary banked the next one out and beat him in it was like 8 to 10 minutes. And I sat there and watched it live and was like, holy shit. He says, when you come down here, you can't dick around.
Well, Patch did win the lag against Van Boney.
He didn't go to the Derby this year.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going off here.
Yeah, me too. I got to get to bed just in case the kids have school. We're supposed to get snow, and they were talking about they may cancel school tomorrow, but if they do, I'll be out working.
All right, guys. You have a good night.
All
All
right,
right,
see you
have a
guys.
good
Thanks
night,
for
Mike.
visiting.
Good
Yeah,
talking with you.
thanks for visiting. I'm sure you're going to want to come in next time Shane Van Boney's on the stream. Might be tomorrow morning, actually. Trying to figure out if I can get table 5 with this camera or not. Be a good match.
Jerry did win a game in there. But Oscar's kind of got control of this one. He's given up 1 or 2 balls, but I think Oscar needs 1. Or he needs
Oh,
1 or 2.
his opponent won a game.
Yeah, on
I mean,
his
they were
break.
already starting one before we tuned in. But this is one pocket, so
Yeah.
we might have joined them right in the first rack.
Yeah, it might have been.
Actually, I mean that Skyler and Justin match. I think it was supposed to start the same time this one did, but that one was over in no time.
Mike and I know a few mutual guys there that we talked about. We talked a little bit about Kenny McCoy.
That's the
About
old guy from
how,
Columbus, right?
yeah, 92 years old, dude still hits balls every day.
Yeah,
He's
that's
in good.
cool.
He does 100 push-ups every day still.
Damn.
He's in the best shape I've seen for a guy that's 92.
He's like Earl
And I'll tell
Strickland.
you,
Runs 10 miles a day and
well, and uh, Kenny, dude, he still has a smooth stroke. You can see him if somebody has balls left on the side where they're playing one pocket or something that they're not keeping count, or if they're playing 9 ball and got 6 balls off to the side, he'll go grab a house cue and shoot spin banks, drill, drill, drill. You know, shooting balls, cutting them 90 degrees right in the back of the pocket. Don't wear glasses or nothing. He just pure talent. He doesn't play or gamble anybody anymore.
Man, that was a nice try.
That's Oscar's hole.
It is?
Yeah.
No.
He was trying to get the cue ball down table.
I mean, he almost made the ball.
Yeah. He was
No, you're
playing the
right. That's hilarious. Oh, there's
and he
Nick
just
DeLeon. He must be playing a one-pocket game.
yeah.
These guys want everyone to stay up late, man. They started this one-pocket round at 11.
Well, like Mike was talking last year, they tightened the pockets up to 4 1/8, and they ran late. And they had to start keeping matches going later and later and later because they were way behind.
Yeah. Well, they would know from 3 days in, 4 days in, how many,
Yeah.
what round you're supposed to be in.
Yeah. So they had to start playing later matches in the one pocket because there were a lot of the amateurs that couldn't make a ball on the tighter pockets. Ooh, that's not going to help Oscar much. I wish we could see the ball count down there because I'm pretty sure that Oscar only needs one.
Drilled it.
Drano.
He's a 600 Fargo.
Oh, shit. Maybe I
Oh,
was
he needed
wrong.
one.
Now he's up 2-1. Or it's 2-2. He might be asking Oscar if he has a buyback.
Oh,
Because
mercy.
if Oscar has a buyback, well, this is one pocket, so he probably hasn't lost yet. It's probably only round 2.
It is round 2. He says, give me 1,000. I'll let you go ahead.
Well, in round 2, that's not a good bet.
Well, yeah, that's because that's a long way to go.
Yeah, I mean, you got to win. That would just give you 2 wins. You'd have to win another one just to get your money back for that one. And then if you pay somebody 1,000 to move on,
He's uncracking his cue. I mean, did he beat him or is that Hill?
I don't know.
Well, that's a little wild.
I think that he probably said that I'll let you move on because
I gotta find table 5. I think it's here. That's 6. Oh, my camera's that good.
huh?
I said my camera's that good. All right, so this is where
Okay, the guy that's in the khakis on the table to the right from there.
yeah.
Zoom in on him. It looks like not that guy, but the next table to your right, right behind this table.
That guy?
Not that guy.
Somebody's playing one pocket, I know that.
It
This
was
guy.
on, yeah. Yeah,
I
zoom
can't
up
really.
on his face.
I mean, you can't see it unless he goes way over there.
I didn't know if you could pull it up any. You can
No.
only in it.
I mean, I can pull it up, but I can't get above the light.
Well, you don't have to get above the light. How that looks like my buddy Zach Muncie from Columbus. Looks like
There
a
might be. I
Q-Tech.
think.
Say Q-Tech Synergy.
Is that him?
I think so.
Sorry.
He's probably just getting whatever free table time he can get. It looks like his cue.
I mean, they might be playing a tournament.
He's one of Sonny Hines's uh, proteges.
All right, so this
Well,
is 5. Shane Van Boney's going to play there tomorrow. It's not horrible. It's not great.
well, thanks for letting me pop in.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I mean, you're welcome
welcome
to come in
to
anytime.
anytime.
I mean, dude, I've
I
been doing this every day, all day.
I know. I've been out driving every day.
16
Uh,
hours practically.
yeah, I did probably 8 hours of driving today. Made probably about 200 on $30 worth of gas. So I made 170 to the good. That's a little better than normal,
You made more than I
considering
made.
considering you know the difference in gas mileage that I get now compared to what I used to. That $30 in gas would have got me maybe 3 days worth of work. And so I could have made $600 on a tank of gas instead of two or three. Well, buddy, have a good night.
All
I'll
right, well,
talk
then
to
I'm
you
trying to
soon.
figure out what to do in the morning. Justin Tingle, what's happening? You're in this file, actually. I gotta close this video, then you can watch yourself play. All right, good night. Thanks, Derek. Derek Reynolds from Columbus, Ohio. Shannon Murphy, where you been? You need to come. You should be at this event, obviously. So I'm trying to decide which view is better. That's the 4K camera. That's where Shane's gonna play Lucas, and that's gonna be a cool match. One or two? I got 2 cameras on it. Actually, I got 3 angle views. I got the straight angle view too.
And that one's pretty good. This guy's like, why are these cameras pointing at me? If he looked around, he would see both camera heads pointing at him. Or we go with Old Faithful. I mean, that ain't bad. For banks, it's all right. Well, I'm gonna set one of these cameras up for that table, and then I'll find something else to do. Hey, Barry. Yeah, I've been doing 16 hours a day for like 3 or 4 days now. Something like that. Making a lot of videos, I know that. Alright, so we'll see you in the morning. These events, this matches resume at 10 a.m. So I'm going to try to get up at like 9 and go get some McDonald's and stuff and come back and set it in. I mean, I'm going to set everything up right now. So all you got to do is come in and push a couple buttons and then we'll get going. And then we're going to see lots of cool bank matches tomorrow, that's for sure. Alright guys, have a good night. Thank you. TV Mike signing off.
Alright guys, we're in a busy pool room. We've got some great improvements in the industry here. You can now get an entire month for a free trial of Let's Get Streaming TV service. You heard me, it's a fantastic deal. You can't turn down. We'll help you configure it and you will have an entire month. Hit up TV Mike and we'll get back to you and get you going. The best apps, the best tech support, the best service you can get in this industry. I promise you, you won't regret it. Get our deluxe package for $44.97 a month. Cut the cord, cut the box, go mobile, and let's get streaming. Hit me up. Thank you. All right, guys. We're in a busy pool room. We've got some great improvements in the industry here. You can now get an entire month for a free trial of Let's Get Streaming TV service. You heard me, it's a fantastic deal. You can't turn down of our streaming sponsor. So not only do you get the 30-day free evaluation, but you also get Billiard TV. So you got to check it out. Send me a message.
I'm not going to play anything directly because it just takes too much time. So I'm going to try to cut this video down to 2 minutes. We go over here to U.S. locals. These are your affiliates and statewide news and stuff like that. The list is very impressive. I can't say we have everything, but there's about 600 options in there for you to look at. We have the Canadian networks. We have the UK networks. You can watch Billiards under Sky Sports pretty often. Here's our movie section where you can watch a lot of premium movie channels listed on the left. There's as many as you probably want to get your hands on. This section right here, not available in the trial, but it is available for the full license. It is the fights and wrestling and boxing and UFC, stuff like that. We've got all our major sports networks packages: football, baseball, basketball, and all that kind of stuff. We have international channels. Check out the Latino section. Check out the Filipino section. There's an Indian section. There's probably pool on certain places. You got special network for the DAZN events. We got Canadian networks. We got a favorite section, which I'll teach you how to use by just going into any channel, clicking on it, hold down the button, and it says add to favorite. Once you add it to a favorite, it's in this section over here, then you don't have to look for it anymore. All right, so we're getting up on 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This is TV Mike. Check out our sponsors, streaming TV service. We also have a VOD add-on, stands for Video on Demand, but I'm not even going to get into this here. It will be provided as a trial. Hit us up, send a message, check it out today. All right, guys, this is TV Mike. I'm cutting a new promo for my living room. It's not very high tech, but it does get the job done. So this is a demo of our sponsor's TV streaming service, which you can check out on your Android box, 4K Fire Stick, your phone, or any other Android platform where you can install an application. And I do have a list of them that you can check out. I recommend a 4K Fire Stick with Ethernet, actually, is the #1 choice. But let's get into it here. We have over 5,000 links that are optional up here. You can go through them and find them yourself. Here is some of the basic networks. I'm going to scroll through here. This is basically your extended cable channels. There's a lot of stuff thrown in here extra as well. I'm not going to play anything directly because it just takes too much time. So I'm going to try to cut this video down to 2 minutes. We go over here to US locals. These are your affiliates and statewide news and stuff like that. The list is very impressive. I can't say we have everything, but there's about 600 options in there for you to look at. We have the Canadian networks. We have the UK networks. You can watch Billiards under Sky Sports pretty often. Here's our movie section, where you can watch a lot of premium movie channels listed on the left. There's as many as you probably want to get your hands on. This section right here, not available in the trial, but it is available for the full license. It is the fights and wrestling and boxing and UFC, stuff like that. We've got all our major sports networks packages: football, baseball, basketball, and all that kind of stuff. We have international channels. Check out the Latino section. Check out the Filipino section. There's an Indian section. There's probably pool on certain places. You got special network for the DAZN events. We got Canadian networks. We got a favorite section, which I'll teach you how to use by just going into any channel, clicking on it, hold down the button, and it says add to favorite. Once you add it to a favorite, it's in this section over here, then you don't have to look for it anymore. All right, so we're getting up on 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This is TV Mike. Check out our sponsors, streaming TV service. We also have a VOD add-on, stands for Video on Demand, but I'm not even going to get into this here. It will be provided as a trial. Hit us up, send a message, check it out today. All right, guys, this is TV Mike. I'm cutting a new promo for my living room. It's not very high tech, but it does get the job done. So this is a demo of our sponsor's TV streaming service, which you can check out on your Android box, 4K Fire Stick, your phone, or any other Android platform where you can install an application. And I do have a list of them that you can check out. I recommend a 4K Fire Stick with Ethernet, actually, is the #1 choice. But let's get into it here. We have over 5,000 links that are optional up here. You can go through them and find them yourself. Here is some of the basic networks. I'm going to scroll through here. This is basically your extended cable channels. There's a lot of stuff thrown in here extra as well. I'm not going to play anything directly because it just takes too much time. So I'm going to try to cut this video down to 2 minutes. We go over here to U.S. locals. These are your affiliates and statewide news and stuff like that. The list is very impressive. I can't say we have everything, but there's about 600 options in there for you to look at. We have the Canadian networks, we have the UK networks. You can watch Billiards under Sky Sports pretty often. Here's our movie section where you can watch a lot of premium movie channels listed on the left. There's as many as you probably want to get your hands on. This section right here, not available in the trial, but it is available for the full license. It is the fights and wrestling and boxing and UFC, stuff like that. We've got all our major sports networks, packages, football, baseball, basketball, and all that kind of stuff. We have international channels. Check out the Latino section. Check out the Filipino section. There's an Indian section. There's probably pool on certain places. You got special network for the DAZN events. We got Canadian networks. We got a favorite section, which I'll teach you how to use by just going into any channel, clicking on it, hold down the button, and it says add to favorite. Once you add it to a favorite, it's in this section over here. Then you don't have to look for it anymore. All right, so we're getting up on 2 minutes and 30 seconds. This is TV Mike. Check out our sponsors, streaming TV service. We also have a VOD add-on, stands for Video on Demand, but I'm not even going to get into this here. It will be provided as a trial. Hit us up, send a message, check it out today. All right, guys, this is TV Mike. I'm cutting a new promo from my living room. It's not very high tech, but it does get the job done. So this is a demo of our sponsor's TV streaming service, which you can check out on your Android box, 4K Fire Stick, your phone, or any other Android platform where you can install an application. And I do have a list of them that you can check out. I recommend the 4K Fire Stick with Ethernet, actually, is the #1 choice. But let's get into it here. We have over 5,000 links that are optional up here. You can go through them and find them yourself. Here is some of the basic networks. I'm going to scroll through here. This is basically your extended cable channels. There's a lot of stuff thrown in here extra as well. I'm not going to play anything directly because it just takes too much time. So I'm going to try to cut this video down to 2 minutes. We go over here to U.S. locals. These are your affiliates and statewide news and stuff like that. The list is very impressive. I can't say we have everything, but there's about 600 options in there for you to look at. We have the Canadian networks, we have the UK network.